Who doesn't love obligatory Easter eggs for later in the weekend? I know I don't, but kind of cool little package from Exodus. Gonna be interested to talk about that little fun game. So, this is your obligatory metagame discussion that everybody wanted me to do. If I get some likes on this video, we are going to do the customary part 2 on the rogue side. Should probably be Thursday, day before the YCS. How shocking. And I would also like to bring it to your attention that my latest work is now complete. This is called Fist Me Daddy, the story of 2 Goki players. You always wondered what the Goki mirror match was like. Well, I have some really, really bad news for you. I really should stop writing erotic novels, but I'm just saying. Thanks to my friend Youngboy Obito for helping me bring this concept to life. I must definitely say, I'm definitely not disappointed. And always remember, we have our original bestseller now getting a redo. It is Trickstar's The Art of the Trick. Remember, if you're a Trickstar player, you definitely know all about the minus 200s. Alright, let's dig on into this fantastic metagame discussion, shall we? I think I've seen every one of these videos be the same, so I'm probably going to be regurgitating some shit you've probably heard from 3 other channels at this point. Alright, the rogue side is going to be more interesting tomorrow, but I do want to touch on meta for the most part, as sloppily and as lazily as we can. So first up over here is Sky Striker. I've made 35 points in the last 5 videos. I keep saying that this deck is not dead. OCG tournament results proved that this deck was still the best deck. Now, we do not have Needle Fiber, we do not have the bullshit OTKs that come with it, but I will say this. Do not be caught with your pants down. This deck is fantastically dangerous. The deck still has everything that the deck had before this list, and losing Hornedrones did absolutely jack shit to the deck. I think that this deck got the freest pass ever on this list, even though a few people were like, oh yeah, Ultra Geist got a free pass. No, please. The only thing that they did to Sky Strikers was they made it so that you could stop abusing the Hornet engine in other decks, and they made it so that you had to play it in your own goddamn deck. That is what I like to see. And honestly, I think that's a fantastic way to go about life. Cutting a deck's tech ability from not being allowed to be played in its own engine to limiting it to be played in its own engine was a fantastic call, Konami. I do appreciate the hit on the deck, but the deck's engine is still as consistent as ever. 2 terraformings was just a slap on the wrist, honestly. I think terraforming should be at 1, and we'll probably see it go to 1 at some point here, but 2 terraforming, did the TCG just be like, oh, maybe terraforming actually is an issue, maybe we should actually hit it. But we have effectively did it. We limited Sky Strikers in a slight capacity. So, take it for what it is. I still think the deck's going to be one of the best decks, if not the best deck, but what does the old fat man know? Alright, number 2. If you are completely fleeting ignorant, and you are somehow thinking to yourself, oh man, Ultrageist isn't going to be one of the best decks. Melzik and the Link Rebo Search. They have the ability to negate search effects. Yeah, Multi-Faker can bring out a Grand Mole to bounce. Okay, sure, that's good. Okay. They can also play Rivalry. Oh yeah, that's good, right? A deck that has access to fucking floodgates. Lovely. If you were looking at the OCG meta pre-ban list, pre their October list, you would have saw that something interesting was happening. Their meta was being defined literally by Altergeist versus Sky Strikers. Every major tournament, you would see those 2 decks kind of going back and forth. You would see the occasional Goki coming up, but for the advancement of the OCG metagame and things like that, to see that these 2 Titans were standing, even if we have basically the exact same cards available to us at this stage in life, I still think that Altergeist is going to be your stun deck of the format. You're going to have a really bad time playing against it. I'm dreading playing against it. I don't like the deck. But the format will evolve. You will see more people playing shit like Twin Twisters to out the deck. I mean, it's not that hard to play Twin Twisters, Cosmic Cyclones, MSTs, All these cards beat this deck. And, you know, if we're ahead of our time and you get Waking the Dragon, well, you know, just wasn't your day. Waking will probably be the bane of your day if you get hit by it, but if that extra deck or that extra monster zone is locked, then you're fine, right? Nothing to really worry about. So, yay, Altergeist. Same shit you've probably heard from 3 other people. Alright. Next up, True Draco. The truest of the asshole decks. So, back to my previous point here about Twin Twister. The metagame will evolve. Players will start one. Basically, what ends up happening is you have these decks. If a deck like Goki existed in this format, which will be another point here. If you have a deck like Goki that exists, its power scaling is so high where you don't need to remove back row, then the use of Twin Twister falls. But if you have decks like Altergeist, True Draco, Trickstars, you know, you have 4 decks in the meta as opposed to 1 deck that all have like the same power scaling, then things like Twin Twisters are bound to come back. So yes, Floodgates from True Draco are a pain in every competitive player's ass. I wouldn't be shocked to see Floodgates eventually getting limited, but Rivalringos have been doing their job. They're allowing other decks to compete, which is what we needed, alright? But on the flip side, Card of Demise, a consistent draw engine, Dynamite bringing just True Draco back on top. I mean, honestly, out of all of these decks, True Draco's probably the cheapest if you want to get in. You don't need a fucking extra deck. Like, if you want to play the extra deck version, you need shit like Volcasaurus, Sea Lance, or Gaia Charger, and I mean, even those cards shouldn't even cost you that much. I'm sure you could get cheeky and do some dumb shit along the way, but what are you inherently worried about needing an extra deck for in True Draco? But I mean, Eruption's not even that good anymore, so you're probably going to steer further away from that. So I mean, if you're a budget player and you don't have a lot of money, start gathering up the True Draco cards. Just do yourself a favor. I think for the most part it's going to be just a very good call. I mean, it's not Altergeist level good, but I mean, I've seen Altergeist players struggle with just the big beaters that True Draco gets. I mean, hell, fucking deck thinning and 3 tributes a turn. So Guidos can only do so much. Next up is Trickster, baby. Konami, why, I ask you, why does Reincarnation keep dodging this ban list? Why do you think that this is a informally good decision? I ask you. So, Trickstars, they're back. Licorice is a pain in the ass still. If you're a Sky Striker player, it's okay because Twin Twisters exist, Hand Traps exist, Ash Blossom does exist. Oh, and your opponent had a Licorice in hand for the Kadena. Yikes. Well, I guess we're not negating that. So, here's what I've kind of come to know and love about Trickster. Every time this deck exists in the format, something called Mind Crush exists. Oh, do you guys remember Mind Crush? Oh yeah, watching your opponent reveal Licorice, Mind Crush. Yeah. Trickstars has built-in outs in the current format. I don't see any reason to not worry about this deck. I mean, the deck still is pain in the assy as it ever is. Droll and Logbird plus Reincarnation forces you to lose your entire hand. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I've come to expect this. So, the loop is still there. How consistent the deck is. It's still got everything it's ever had. I mean, Scapegoat's at 2 now. That was a big help, so I at least appreciate that. Field Spell, Surge or Terraforming's at 2. So, I mean, they kind of did the invisible hand effect to all of the decks this format. They're like, this is mine now. So they did remove a lot of the potential haphazards that are existing in the format. So I will give that to Konami. They did take care of some of the potential troublesome cards that we were having. So, just my 2 cents. Enjoy Trickster as being one of your best decks still. And the second to last one I want to touch on here is Mech Knight Invoked. We have Morningstar, we have Alistar now. This deck's reliance on the format depends on how the format goes. It's a column-based deck. I think the deck is going to require very good players to play it, and I think it has to have a good format to allow the deck to come. Do not play Fleeting Ignorance with this deck. This deck will come out of left field and destroy you. Alright? Learn to set your cards. If you're a Trickster player, or if you're a Sky Striker player, and you've got multi-roll up, watch where you're setting your stuff. Don't set it behind the Shizuku. Don't give your opponent a column right away. Force them to have to make commitment themselves. It's surprising how many players don't know how to play against this matchup. The matchup's not even that hard. I mean, now that Hornet Drones got touched, the deck has become more manageable. Oh, absolutely. I don't have to worry about them going Kagari, set the Hornet Drones. Oh, look, I have a column now. Like, what? It was already inherently unfair that they could do that in the first place. So, why give them more room to do it? And then the last one I'm going to bring up on this video is Goki. Alright? As is the epic tale of most Goki players, I don't know where this deck is going this format. I will say that I have seen a few people try to play this deck. Limiting a Hero Lives Konami was a very good call, alright? Goki still can Extra Link. Here's the problem. The deck is now 100% more susceptible to a hand trap. You think, look at me, you think you're having a good time over here, Goki players, and then your opponent opens up the Ash Blossom and your entire play is stunted because you didn't open up an extender? Yikes. I think that the deck will still be at the top tables. There's absolutely no reason that it won't be. But I think the deck has become way more fragile than it needed to be at this point in its life. So I'm going to put it in the question mark category because I think people are still going to play it. The deck got a lot of support from Stratos coming back. So we'll have to wait and see. So that's all I have for this discussion. If more than one person comments and tells me that, Robbie, why'd you not mention dinosaurs? We're going to talk about Dino DNA tomorrow. On the fantastic part 2 of Robbie the Sloth and his fantastic books. I love these things. So, really should make them into tokens. I think that would be something fantastic for the patrons. Alright guys, hope you're ready for part 2. Remember, like this video, comment on this video, and Slothy Robbie is going to sloth on out. Remember, see this? See this? See this fantastic stuff? I've seen this card game be demoed twice at Gen Con over the last 2 years, and it always catches my fancy at just how fucking cool the art is. Alright, let's get on over into the rogue discussion for part 2 for tomorrow. Thank you guys. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. I will be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.